A little foreshadowing for today's show, but it does not sound like Jarvis Landry will be returning to the Browns. So spam 80, put his jersey number down in the comments section to thank him for everything he did for the city, for the franchise, for the fan base. He was really the first pillar to start this change around, this turnaround for the Browns. So spam his jersey number down below while the intro video rolls. What's going on, everyone? Welcome into the Cleveland Browns Report by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Matthew Peterson. We got some updated news and rumor stories today revolving around Jarvis Landry and Jadeveon Clowney. Plus, stay tuned for the end. It's going to be very interesting, so make sure you watch all the way through. I promise you that. First up, Landry. Not returning to Cleveland? Well, yesterday on Mother's Day, couldn't get in to get another video out to talk about this because it came out from MKC, Mary Kay, that it doesn't sound like a reunion is going to happen. Here's what Mary Kay wrote yesterday. After taking Purdue receiver David Bell in the third round, the Browns are unlikely to re-sign Jarvis Landry. Although Bell can play outside, he'll probably initially work in the slot, which would make Landry expendable. Landry also visited his hometown Saints recently and might still have an opportunity to sign there. She would go on to say, other teams have expressed interest in the five-time Pro Bowler, and he could have multiple opportunities in the coming weeks. But it appears the door is closed on a Cleveland return. That stings right there. To me, my first takeaway is Andrew Berry has a lot of confidence in this current roster and the wide receiver room. You would think he would try to find a way to get Landry back. Now, I don't know if it's going to be the Saints after they just signed Tyrann Mathieu, but it wouldn't shock me if a team like the Chiefs, who lost Tyreek Hill, tries to bring a 29-year-old, not too old of a vet, but a good vet in Landry to help Mahomes and get them back. Because I saw a crazy stat, by the way. I think only Mahomes, Kelsey, and one other player, I can't remember who it is, are the only remaining offensive starters from their Super Bowl run a couple of years ago. But here's the depth chart for the Browns at that wide receiver position. And I'm guessing Berry and Stefanski go, yep, we like this makeup. We are confident with this bunch going forward. Cooper, DPJ, Schwartz, and Bell, and honestly you could maybe toss in Jakeem Grant, can be slid around between wide receiver 2 to 5. I've got it this for now. I think at the end of training camp, Bell will overtake Schwartz. Now, they're both third-round picks. In fact, Schwartz went, I think, 7 picks earlier than Bell. So don't sleep on Schwartz. He had an absent rookie season. That hamstring injury just wouldn't go away. But a lot of faith in Donovan Peoples-Jones to be their wide receiver, too. So what's your confidence level in that wide receiver room? Scale it for me 1 to 100. 1 being you have no confidence. You think there needs to be an absolute blow-up and change it over. Or 100 being I've got full faith that we don't need to change or tinker anything here. I love this room. I'm at a 74. I don't really know if that's an exact scientific number I'm really giving out. The reason why I picked 74, 75 sounds a lot more confident. I'm not quite at 75. I'm right there before at 74, where it's like that C- range. It's not, C's average. And I just think Amari Cooper's awesome. Donovan Peoples-Jones led the team in receiving last year at just under 600 yards. Love to see him break through, but we haven't seen that yet. It's only been 2 seasons, but still, we have to see it first before we really buy into it. That's where I stand on DPJ being wide receiver 2. Is I've got faith that he could live up to that hype, but I gotta see it first. That's why I'm putting myself at a 74. Now, Mary Kay would go on to say in the article, saying, at this point, there's not been interest in free agent receivers Will Fuller, formerly of the Texans, and Cole Beasley, formerly of the Bills, or other veterans. The Browns like the makeup of their receiver room and are poised to move forward with their current group, bolstered by Amari Cooper, Bell, and 6th-round pick. Yeah, Michael Woods out of Oklahoma. I like that pick. It's kind of growing on me more and more, although I was a little skeptical at first. Honestly, signing people is just fun. I know it may not make the most sense in the moment of, hey, we have other needs. Do we really need Jarvis Landry back on a 1-year, $12 million contract or something like that? But let's be honest, we're in May right now. It's kind of the dog days of the offseason. I would love to get some news out there that the Browns signed a wide receiver like Deshaun Jackson, even though I really don't want them to sign Deshaun Jackson. But at least bring him into training camp, Give it a bit of a tryout. See if it works out over 3 preseason games. And if some of these veteran receivers are like, hey, your best days are behind you, adios, sayonara, it's not going to happen in Berea, fine by me. But at least, give us the rush of signing someone. Who's like the rush of signing someone? So should the Browns sign another wide receiver? You like the room, right? You like the makeup and you just don't want to keep it the same? That's fine. S for sign. Or if you're like, you know what? Opposite. Or you're like P for pass. Or you want to bring someone in. S for sign. I got a pretzel on my head, Ricky Bobby, right there. Let me know what you think down below. Next up on the show, latest on Jadeveon Clowney. We're going to see what the news cycle is out there and whether or not we could see a return for him with the Cleveland Browns. But first, I want to tell everyone watching about what's going on over at Rumble. So Rumble is another up-and-coming video platform service that has uncensored sports, politics, tech, business, really anything under the sun. And here at Chat Sports, the Browns Report is second in the leaderboard, right behind the Chiefs. So join me in the salty train of week 1 after that awesome opening drive of some fourth down conversions, went down the field, 2-point conversion, and they still found a way to lose. We're not going to, make everyone too sad again. We don't need to relive old memories. But hit that big red button down there at rumble.com/Browns Report. Show the channel some love, and let's be the #1 Rumble channel here at Chat Sports. Now, will the Browns re-sign Clowney? It's kind of been the question for, what are we going on, 2 months? 2.5, 3? It's been a seesaw, a back and forth of whether or not we're going to see this happen. Let's at least set the table by looking at the current defensive line. I think it's pretty obvious that Clowney would be an upgrade from Chase Winovich, which I liked the trade. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not ready to make Chase Winovich my starting defensive end. I'm just not jumping into that bed just yet. And to me, this is just kind of dragged out too long. You know what I'm saying? It's been a while now. Last year, Clowney, if I remember correctly, re-signed with the Browns like April 14th. We're at May 9th. Come on. Let's get this done already. Albert Breer at Sports Illustrated was asked about Clowney, and I thought this was very interesting. He said the Browns have been pretty confident that they get Jadeveon Clowney back, with one caveat being that if a team in the South, near where the South Carolina native grew up came calling, that could blow things up. So it sounds like the Browns are waiting on Clowney, and if that's the situation, which I think it is Clowney just, skipping the off-season workouts? You know what I mean? He's like, I'll resign, but once those voluntary workouts are over with, so I don't have to go to that, and I can just show up in August, you know what I mean? I can come to OTAs later on. Yeah, I think this is what Clowney's doing, but if the Panthers say, Clowney, can you come play with us in Charlotte? I don't know. We thought Deshaun Watson would want to stay in the South. We were told Deshaun Watson would never come to Cleveland because he doesn't want to play in the cold weather. What happened? Finish that sentence for me. Now, type 90 down below if you want to see Clowney re-sign with the Browns. I've done this before numerous times, and I love doing it because every single time you guys answer the call, and we get 90 spammed in the chat, and I love seeing the love from the dog pound to get Clowney back to Cleveland. Here at Chat Sports, we're all about competition, and you can see that the Browns Report is 7th in comments so far in the month of May. And on the right, you see how many subscribers they've got. So we're beating Eagles, who have 28,000 subscribers. Seahawks have 26, and Dolphins have 24. Make sure you subscribe. But shout out to everyone commenting down below because we're hanging with the biggest of the dogs out there. And we've got some fewer subscribers in other channels. So make sure you subscribe because we are just under 400 subs away from reaching 9,000. Appreciate all of you that hit that big red button. And if you haven't subscribed yet and you're looking for a spot to get free daily Browns content, look no further. Hit that big red button and subscribe. I want to wrap up the show just by kind of rounding up some other little nuggets out there. So there was a report that came out from Mary Kay that if the Browns stayed put at 44, they would have drafted John Mechie out of Alabama. And I tweeted this out when I saw that. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at MatthewPD. Yeah, pretty happy because I'm not a big fan of Mechie. Sorry. And the fact that that's who they would have gotten, I love trading back. Now, if you don't remember, we've got the trades here, okay? We can look at the Deshaun Watson trade, by the way, because the Browns wanted to get some draft capital back. You know what I mean? Look at all the picks they gave up there. Now, this is the picks that they got back from Houston during the draft to recoup some of those lost assets. I think Barry looked at his options and goes, Mechie, we lost a lot of picks to get Deshaun Watson. Maybe we should get some back, get some extra guys in camp. And so I like the move a lot. One more thing, by the way, we have two more things. The NFL schedule is coming out on May 12th, so 3 days from right now, we'll start to see leaks, okay? If you see a leak that has the Browns playing Week 1 Sunday Night Football at Heinz Field, to me that signals Deshaun Watson's going to be playing. Why would the NFL have the Browns play prime time through the first 4 weeks of the season to show Jacoby Brissett? I love Brisket, but it's not going to happen. So I just think that if we see early primetime games, we're going to see Deshaun Watson play early in the season. One last thing to wrap up the show with. So on yesterday's show, this is the thumbnail if you want to watch it. It was a mailbag, and I was confident that no way Baker Mayfield plays a snap in 2022. In fact, I put a call out. I'll show you the question I asked about what could happen or what I would do if Baker Mayfield did play a snap for the Cleveland Browns in 2022. I put the call out and said, you guys tell me what I should do if that happens. And here was the first and I think the best reply, which is if Baker Mayfield plays a snap for the Browns in 2022, Matthew will jump in Lake Erie. I'm doing it. Now, whether it's in August or someone recommended waiting all the way to December for like a real polar plunge, fine by me. I will be diving into Lake Erie if Baker Mayfield takes a snap in the 2022 season for the Cleveland Browns. I'll even say in preseason. There's just no way he's going to be on the field for the Browns this season. Maybe he's in training camp in a red shirt, drinking water like Deshaun Watson was last year, playing scout team safety. But there's just no way. So if it happens, I'm diving into Lake Erie. I'm going into the lake. One last note. I keep saying one last thing. This is actually the last thing. Just some news for you guys here coming from Brad Stainbrook. The Browns are hiring Catherine Reschie. Catherine Reschie, as I think I pronounced that correct. I probably actually didn't. Assistant GM. She came over from Philadelphia. Interesting nugget. Speaks 3 languages. I speak like 1.5, not even a half. I speak a little French. I took French in high school. So that's the latest roundup of news and rumors right there. Appreciate all of you guys joining today's show. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. Hit that big red button. And I'll catch up with you later with more Browns news and rumors.